So one of the things, Michael, that we've talked a lot about in the last few weeks are just the way that club heads on drivers are being designed. We've heard things like different face iterations, different forms of technology to design the club head. You've designed drivers before, and so what should we know about all this new tech and how it makes what we love to hit on the golf course a reality?
Well, first of all, it's amazing the leaps and bounds that are happening. I mean, you talked about Callaway and their AI iterations. I think it was 15,000. That's something that's not possible for someone who's not using that type of thing. So from a designer who's designed things and gone through, a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen iterations to get to a final product, 15,000 is truly amazing. And it's really, you look at this holistically, and it's the dataization of the world, right? To be able to do this, to have sort of a supercomputer to be able to crunch those numbers. But just because you do that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to come out with something great. I'm quite confident Callaway has. They have a lot of brilliant people there. I'm friends with many of them and love the work they're doing. But it really going to come down to what are the questions you're putting in? What are the things you're solving for? It's not as simple as saying, hey, computer, give me a good driver face, right? That's not the way it works. Right. You have to put some questions in. Hey, we're going to hold these things, whether it's durability, whether it's MOI, whether it's flex, at the center. Maybe it's flex at a different point. So those iterations are going to come with, hey, we're going to hold these things constant, now solve for these. And another, 1,000 iterations might be, hey, we're going to hold these things constant, solve for these. So even then, the computer and the data is amazing, and to be able to crunch those things are literally not humanly possible in any kind of reasonable time frame. But you still have to have the right people to come in and say, what questions we want to ask? What things do we want to solve for? What problems do we have that this tool, this massive data set, can help us resolve? So it's interesting, obviously a lot of people talk about Callaway. It's one of their pushes this year. Very impressive to me what they're doing. And that you're going to see more and more of that. But you see that in life, right? There's more data. It's easier to get on Amazon and buy something. Hey, if you like this, you're going to like these 14 things too. We're seeing this in our life every day. And now it's really getting into drivers. And you're going to see it more and more. But again, that doesn't mean golf club designers, people like me, other people in the industry, are out of a job. In fact, it's the exact opposite. How do we harness this data that we have to get to the right answers? Because if you have 15,000 iterations, and they launch one driver, that by definition means there's 14,999 that weren't optimized. So to understand what that means, how to get it right, what inputs to get a right answer is still critical to that process.